What's poppin', T-Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with my top 10 movies of 2017 list. Let's get it. Let's go. Number 10 on my list is Ingrid Goes West. This was an indie film. It really wasn't shown in that many theaters. I got a chance to watch it when it came on demand. And the synopsis for this movie is: an unhinged social media stalker moves to LA and insinuates herself into the life of an Instagram star. The movie stars Aubrey Plaza as Ingrid, Elizabeth Olsen as Taylor Sloan, and O'Shea Jackson as Dan Pinto. This movie was so good. It was so intriguing. It was something totally different and new. It was a fresh take on the hipster, urban outfitter, social media vibe that's been going on in the last couple of years. I love that it touches on social media and how people can become obsessed with you and their perception of what they see of you online, which is something totally different than your real life persona and your real life person. It deals with mental disorder. It deals with stalking, obsessive behavior, lying, fashion, blogging, friendship. It deals with so many different things. The acting in this movie was great. Aubrey Plaza was so good in this film. She is so underrated as an actress. I love to see her do something that had a little bit of comedy in it, but for the most part, it was a dramatic performance. Elizabeth Olsen was good in this movie. I was so happy to see O'Shea Jackson do something outside of what he did in Straight Outta Compton. His character was very lovable, very likable. Ingrid kind of like taints his character and brings out a side of him that he didn't even know that he had. Please check out Ingrid Goes West. Phenomenal movie. Check it out right now. Number 9 on my list is Thor Ragnarok. Yes, bitch. Y'all know I love my comic book films. I'm a huge comic book buff. I'm a huge MCU fan. And this year we had the last Thor movie to come out. And the synopsis is: imprisoned, the almighty Thor finds himself in a lethal gladiatorial contest against the Hulk, his former ally. Thor must fight for survival and race against time to prevent the all-powerful Hela from destroying his home and the Asgardian civilization. Thor Ragnarok stars Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Cate Blanchett as Hela, and Idris Elba as Heimdall. This movie was so good. If you are looking for a film to watch with your family, or if you just like a really good action-packed movie that is funny, Thor Ragnarok is the movie to see. It was very lighthearted. It was very funny. It was very whimsical. The style of the movie kind of gave me like that Wiz look to it. Taika Waititi, who was the director of this film, really did a great job visually. Cate Blanchett as Hela gave me life. She was such a great villain, such a great female villain at that. Chris Hemsworth got to be funny in this film. This was the film where he really shined as Thor, versus in the first two Thor movies, he was kind of like trying to find his footing, and they finally let him just do him in this movie, and it worked. Tessa Thompson also starred in this movie as an enemy turned ally in this film. Her character and the Thor character kind of have an unspoken flirtation there with one another. Her fight scenes were great. So good to see, you know, black actresses in the MCU. Thor gave me life. If you have not seen Thor Ragnarok, please go and see it. Number 8, Spider-Man. My son is a huge Spider-Man fan. Ever since he was a little boy, he has loved the Spider-Man franchise. Literally when Kyrie was like 1 or 2 years old, when the first Spider-Man films came out, he used to take the VHS tapes, honey, put it in the VCR, sit down with his favorite pillow that was his comforter at the time, and suck his thumb, rub on his little pillow, and watch Spider-Man over and over and over and over again. So when the franchise was rebooted for the 3rd time, with Tom Holland as Peter Parker, we had to go see it. Spider-Man is huge in my household. There was no way we were not going to go see Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm loving the fresh new take that they took upon the series, the shakeup that they did instead of doing the same old story where we see how Peter became Spider-Man and Uncle Ben dying and him and MJ falling in love. They went totally left, shook shit up, and gave us a John Hughes vibe. It was very Breakfast Club-ish. It was very 1980s teen movie vibe to the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. Tom Hiddleston is by far my favorite Spider-Man. I loved him. He was just so cute. He was funny. He was likable. Loved Zendaya's character in here. There was a twist at the end. I already knew though that she was going to be who she was going to be. Zendaya did the wonderful job. Cannot wait to see more of her character in the sequel. Spider-Man Homecoming was just a story about a boy trying to adjust not only to these superpowers that he has, but trying to adjust and find his way in high school. We all know how horrible high school can be. Peter is a loner. He really doesn't have any friends. People make fun of him. And he gets to really shine as Spider-Man. Number 7, John Wick Chapter 2. I did not go to see it in the theaters, which I hate that I did not support the movie and give them my coin. But when I did get to see the first John Wick, I was like, bitch, what the fuck were you thinking? Why did you not go to the movie theater to see this? So when John Wick 2 came out, there was just no question that I was not going to go to the movie theaters to see it. Me and Kyrese went and we got our lives, honey. It was just so good. It was high octane. It was fast paced. The synopsis is, after returning to the criminal underworld to repay a debt, John Wick discovers that a large bounty has been put on his head. The movie stars Keanu Reeves as John Wick. Ruby Rose is in this movie. Common is in this movie. Ian McShane is in this movie, as well as Lawrence Fishburne. It was so good to see Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves on screen together again. Love seeing them on screen together. Ruby Rose was such a delight in this movie. She had a quiet performance because she literally said nothing. She was a mute in this film, but you know, she's a beautiful girl, so her on-screen presence was just so big, so full. I loved her, you know, little mannerisms and her little facial expression. She did such a good job. The fight scenes between Keanu Reeves and Common were so on point. Both men just took it to another level. Common did a really good job because Common can be very hit or miss in his acting. So in this movie, he didn't really do a lot of talking, which was good. He got to talk with his body language, with the fight choreography. The end scene of John Wick had me just like, holy shit, I cannot wait for John Wick 3. It's going to start off on a bang. I love the bulletproof suits. I loved, you know, all the weaponry that he used and the different ways that he just shot people. And even though there's a lot of shooting in this shooting in this movie, you don't get tired of seeing John Wick kill niggas. You just don't. Number 6, Atomic Blonde. Atomic Blonde stars Charlize Theron and James McAvoy. The movie is about an undercover MI6 agent who is sent to Berlin during the Cold War to investigate the murder of a fellow agent and recover a missing list of double agents. Let me tell you something. I love to see Charlize Theron kick motherfuckers' ass. If you ever saw Charlize Theron, Aeon Flux, you know sister could do some fight choreography. I have been waiting for so long to see her back on the big screen, kicking ass and taking names. In Atomic Blonde, she gives us this. She gives us fashion, she gives us hair, bitch, she gives us body, she gives us fight choreography, she gives us shootouts, bitch, she gives us lesbianist action, honey. The fight scenes in this movie were so intense that you can literally feel it through the screen. Like, I felt like I was taking the punches that she was getting. They did not hold back just because she was a female assassin. She took it there in this film. They were banging in this film. Like, it was just so fresh and new to see that type of intensity between male and female characters fighting each other and shooting and killing each other. The fight sequence where she has this rope or whatever and she ties it to someone's neck and then jumps off of a building. It was just sickening. the color payout, the everything, the fashion choices, the intrigue, the deceit, the betrayal, the secrets and lies. Atomic Blonde was so good. If you want to see an action-packed film, just film with non-stop fighting and killing, bitch, then that is the movie for you. I loved Atomic Blonde. Number 5, Everything, Everything. Everything, Everything is based off a best-selling novel, and basically the movie is about a teenager who spent her whole life confined to her home, falls for the boy next door. And the movie stars Amanda Steinberg as Maddie and Nick Robbins as Ollie. Anika Noni Rose plays Amanda Steinberg's mother, Pauline. This movie was the best love story that I have seen this year. I've noticed that there have not been a lot of romantic movies, romantic comedies here lately. It's been a lot of just, you know, thrillers or comic book movies. We have not really seen any romance movies anymore. No more, you know, epic love stories. We don't have that anymore. So when I came across Everything, Everything, even though it dealt with teenage love, it still was just so breathtaking to see this love story about these two kids that instantly fall for one another. Forget the fact that it's an interracial romance. It's just two people that find commonality within themselves, within each other. Amanda Steinberg is sick in this movie. She has been confined to her household her whole entire life. She's never been outside. Then comes Ollie, the boy next door, who is determined to break her out of this shell, determined to show her that he loves and cares about her. And they instantly fall in love against her mother's wishes. It's like Romeo and Juliet. Them against me, against the world. Me and my boyfriend. And they go on this epic journey of self-discovery and love. And secrets are revealed in this movie. The performances by Amanda Steinberg and Nick Robbins are just so beautifully done. If you're looking for a great love story with a twist, then Everything, Everything is the movie to see. I can't wait to watch it again. It was that good. Number 4, Wonder Woman. Yes, Wonder Woman made the list. Of course it did. Gal Gadot did that shit playing Wonder Woman. Her performance was life. Everybody doubted her because she was a model turned actress, and she had so much to prove, and she proved to all the haters that she is here and here to stay. Her co-star was Chris Pines. He played Steve Trevor. Their little love story was so good. They were the perfect on-screen duo with one another. They had each other's backs. It was just so dope to see Wonder Woman finally come to the screen. And basically the synopsis of the movie is, when a pilot crashes and tells of conflict in the outside world, Diana, an Amazonian warrior in training, leaves home to fight a war, discovering her full powers and true destiny. Wonder Woman by far is the best movie to come out of the DCEU. The DCEU, you know, has had its ups and downs, hits or miss everywhere, but with Wonder Woman, they got it right. Patty Jenkins, the director, did that shit. They made sure that this movie was going to be a hit because they had so much riding on this character, so much riding on this performance, and they proved all the naysayers wrong. The Rotten Tomatoes score on this movie was wonderful. The fight sequences were so good in this film. I loved when they were at the mascara and that first battle scene gave me nothing but life. Number 3, Girls Trip. I just recently saw Girls Trip. I did not get to see it when it was at the theaters because my fake ass best friends went to see it without me. But the movie stars Regina Hall, Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, and newcomer Tiffany Haddish. And the movie is about 4 lifelong friends who travel to New Orleans for the annual Essence Festival. Sisterhoods are rekindled, wild sides are rediscovered, and there's enough dancing, drinking, brawling, and romance to make the Big Easy blush. This by far was the best comedy movie of 2017. Hands down, the funniest movie I saw. It was so good to see 4 black women get on screen with each other and just be funny. We have not seen that. 4 black women just being funny, proving to Hollywood that black women can be laugh out loud funny. we've got to see the Bridesmaid movies and all these other movies featuring, you know, white actresses being funny and getting to show their comedic chops. So to see Jada Pinkett go back to her comedy background, you know, because she used to do, you know, a lot of comedic shit in the beginning of her career. To see this newcomer, Tiffany Haddish, bring it on screen, being the breakout star of this year. Her performance was hilarious. Of course, everybody knows about the grapefruit scene, but even outside of the grapefruit scene, all of her jokes landed. It was funny. She was just perfect on screen. Queen Latifah was great as always. Regina Hall was great. It was good to see her take a step back and not be the funny one, because she's always the funny one. But Girls Trip was by far one of my favorite movies. I laughed out loud so much watching this film. Number 2, Baby Driver. Baby Drivers, Ansel Elgort, Jon Hamm, Jamie Foxx. Oh my God. This movie was an unexpected gem. I remember following Jamie Foxx on Snapchat while they were filming this movie in 2016. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I didn't know that it was going to be this damn good. I heard the buzz around it, but I just was not expecting what I saw when I got to see Baby Driver. Baby Driver is a movie about, after being coerced into working for a crime boss, a young getaway driver finds himself taking part in a heist doomed to fail. Ansel Elgort, I hope I'm saying this name right, who plays Baby. Great performance. He reminds me of like a young James Dean. So cute. He was just, even though he doesn't say much, when he does, it's impactful. Jon Hamm, good to see him do something different. He was sexy. He was funny. He was psychotic. His love interest, Darling. Oh my God, their relationship was like the new age Bonnie and Clyde. Jamie Foxx, however, was the breakout star of this movie. He was the star of this movie. He is the Oscar winner. Let's not forget that. He had the best performance in this film for me. He was the villain of this movie, and he did such a good job playing a villain. I have not seen Jamie Foxx do a character like this where you hated him and you wanted to see him die on screen because he got on your fucking nerves, but he did it in such style. This movie was great. I love the artistic expression that they used with this film. The driving sequences were great. The love story between Baby and Darling, between Baby and his love interest was so cute. There was twists and turns in this movie that you are not expecting. It was high octane. Oh my God. Baby Driver is the sleeper hit of 2017. So happy that Ansel Elgort got nominated for a Golden Globe for this movie. But I do feel like Jamie Foxx got slighted and he should have been the one that got nominated because his performance was that dope. If you have not watched Baby Driver, it is a must-see for 2017. My number 2 pick for best movie of 2017. And last but not least, my number 1 film of 2017 is Logan, starring Hugh Jackman. Yes, God. When I went to the theater to see Logan, I was ready. I don't even think I slept that night. I was so excited about seeing this film. It is the last film starring the X-Men character Wolverine. I have watched every movie Wolverine has been in that Hugh Jackman has starred in as Wolverine ever since the first X-Men film back in the late 90s. Hugh Jackman played Wolverine for 17 years. That is unheard of in Hollywood for an actor to play a character for 17 years. Now, when he did his spin-off movies with the first 2 Wolverine movies, they weren't really well received. They couldn't find their footing with the first 2. But with the third and final film, Logan, they got it right. And they got it right so well that I'm so sad that we don't get to see more of this performance. It was that good. The film was directed by James Mangold. James Mangold took the Wolverine character to new heights. He made this movie into a modern day Western. It was beautiful. The shots that they got in this film, everything was so picturesque. Everything was stunningly done. Hugh Jackman gave an Oscar-worthy performance, and I'm so mad that he did not get any nominations for SAG or Golden Globes. Hopefully he'll get an Oscar nod. Him and Patrick Stewart both killed it in their performances. Hugh Jackman was gritty. He was depressed. He was a drunk. He was on his last leg. He was sick. He was tired. All the fight in him was damn near gone, and he was only holding on to protect Patrick Stewart's character, Charles Xavier, because Charles at this point is old. He is out of control with his powers. His powers cannot be contained like they used to, and if they're not contained, everyone around him will die. In comes Laura. Daphne King's performance as X-23 was just phenomenal. That little girl acted her butt off. For her to be so young, she had so much intensity in her choreographed fights and her facial expressions. She was the perfect co-star alongside Hugh Jackman and Pat. Professor X and Laura go to this family's home, and for the first time they're having a family moment and allowing themselves to just feel and live and be normal and not run and, you know, be chased by someone and the fear of threat. And they're just having a human moment for the first time in such a long time, or if ever, especially for Wolverine and Professor X. And unfortunately, it doesn't end well for them or this family, but that whole scenario and scene was just so poignant and brought the whole movie together, alongside the ending that was just climactic, and it was just jaw-dropping to see. It was gut-wrenching. If you are an X-Men fan, if you are a Wolverine fan, then to see his character from the beginning to the end and how it ended, and him having his swan song at the end and him going out the way that he did, it was just absolutely perfect. I cried in the movie theater, and I'm not even a crier, but I cried in that movie theater, honey. There is talk of an X-23 movie starring Daphne King and the other mutants, and I pray to God that we get that, especially now that the X-Men franchise is back and with Disney and along with the MCU. I think that'll be fucking fantabulous. Logan is the second R-rated comic book film to be released after Deadpool, and that just solidified to me that I want to see more comic book films take on the R rating. The bloodshed, us getting to see the gore and the intensity of what these superheroes can do is just so much better when it's R-rated. And Logan gave us everything that we have ever wanted. And not only just an X-Men film or a Wolverine film, but in a comic book film in general. The movie was so good, they even did a black and white version of it, which I want to see. The performances was just magnificent on everyone's behalf. Everybody stepped their game up. It was an experience. The Johnny Cash song along with the trailer, and then at the end of the film, it was just screen magic. The best film for me, 2017. Hugh Jackman went out like a G. The best Wolverine probably we'll ever get to see. I can't wait to see who they pick to be the new Wolverine now that he has relinquished his title. But what Hugh Jackman did with the Wolverine character will go down in history. Oh my God, it's just fantastic. If you have not seen Logan, it is a must-see film. It will leave you speechless. So those are my top 10 movies of 2017. Make sure to check out all those films. You will not be disappointed. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit your notification bell buttons. Love you guys so much. Bye.